The biblical tale of David and Goliath from the book of Samuel is widely known and appreciated. It not only showcases an exceptional display of heroism in the Bible but also holds relevance in our modern lives. The story teaches us that regardless of the immense adversity one faces, anyone has the potential to overcome it. The narrative illustrates that having faith, not necessarily in God but in oneself, can lead to victory even when the odds seem insurmountable. The story begins with the Philistine army gathering on one side of a valley, representing the enemies of the biblical God who worship pagan gods. On the other side, the Israelites, led by King Saul, serve the biblical God. King Saul, known as the tallest man in Israel, finds himself overshadowed by Goliath, a colossal man described as a 9-foot monster wearing bronze armor and carrying a javelin. Goliath's intimidating presence instills fear and awe in Saul's forces for a staggering 40 days. Goliath taunts the Israelites, mocking their God and claiming his invincibility. Growing impatient, Goliath proposes an ultimatum to the Israelites: send a single man to face him, sparing the rest from battle. The victor would secure dominance for their side. However, Goliath's words only increase panic among the Israeli army. It was expected that King Saul, being the tallest man, would engage in a sword fight with Goliath. Nevertheless, Saul hesitates and refuses to confront him. At this point, David, a young boy without extraordinary stature, strength, or reputation as a warrior, enters the scene. David is the son of Jesse from Bethlehem. While his older brothers are engaged in the battle, David is assigned by his father to bring provisions and news to them. As David searches for his brothers, he overhears Goliath's insults towards the Israeli God and witnesses the army's fear. David learns from the murmurs of the Israeli army that King Saul is desperate to find someone who can defeat Goliath. The reward offered includes Saul's daughter's hand in marriage and exemption from paying taxes. Intrigued by the rewards, David decides to take action. He shares his intention to slay Goliath with the Israelites and his own brothers. Some may interpret this as David's bravery and unwavering belief in himself and God, which fuel his conviction. However, it can also be seen as a response to the offered reward, indicating a level of self-interest. Nevertheless, many agree that David acted in accordance with God's plan, as he had been chosen by God to eventually replace King Saul. When David presents his bold proclamation to King Saul, the king remains unimpressed. Saul doubts that a mere shepherd boy can defeat the monstrous Goliath and believes David will surely fail. Sending an innocent boy to face Goliath doesn't sit right with Saul, as it would result in a massacre. However, David manages to persuade Saul by recounting his victories against a lion and a bear, crediting them to God's help. Convinced by David's account, Saul allows him to fight. Saul dresses David in his own tunic and equips him with armor and a sword. However, David finds them cumbersome and chooses to face Goliath without any armor. Despite Saul's objections, David calmly selects 5 small stones, places them in his shepherd's bag, and takes his sling. With confidence, David walks into the valley, catching Goliath's attention. Goliath is unimpressed by the young and slender challenger before him. He feels insulted that someone like David is presented as a worthy adversary. Goliath mocks David's sling, comparing it to a mere stick. He curses David, threatening to feed his flesh to the animals after killing him. They would calmly inform Goliath that he was destined to lose the contest and his life. With unwavering faith in the power of his God, David declared that Goliath would pay for his crimes against the Israeli people and God. He boldly stated that it would be Goliath's corpse, not his own, that would be fed to the animals, refusing to tolerate such insults. Goliath, provoked by David's words, charged at him, expecting an easy victory. However, to Goliath's surprise, David rushed forward to meet him. With a swift motion, David reached into his bag, retrieved a stone, and slung it at incredible speed towards Goliath. The stone struck Goliath's forehead, knocking him to the ground. The valley fell into silence as all watched in awe as David stood over the fallen giant, victorious. But David's triumph didn't end there. He proceeded to decapitate Goliath with the giant's own sword. Witnessing their champion's defeat, the Philistine army turned to flee, and the Israelites pursued them, inflicting heavy casualties. The Philistines had been a formidable enemy to the Israelites from 12,000 to 1000 BC. They possessed skilled warriors like Goliath and excelled in working with iron and forging weapons, including masterful chariots. However, the rocky terrain of the valleys limited the effectiveness of chariots, putting the Philistines at a disadvantage. They were cautious not to rush into battle during the 40 days of Goliath's boasting, aware that the Israelites had an advantage in the valleys. Goliath's confidence stemmed from his belief that his towering stature made him invincible in one-on-one combat. He couldn't fathom the idea of losing to anyone, let alone a shepherd boy. David, on the other hand, saw Goliath as a mortal man created by God, defying God with his pagan ways and insults towards the Israeli people. David's faith led him to believe that God would ensure his victory. David's rejection of King Saul's armor can be interpreted as his reliance on the skills and resources provided by God, rather than those given by another man. This story emphasizes that with unwavering faith in God, one can overcome any adversity. It also highlights the notion that God works miracles through individuals, enabling them to achieve extraordinary feats. Despite Goliath's verbal attacks, David remained unfazed. His fear of God outweighed any fear of Goliath, as he trusted that God's intentions were guiding him. Some argue that the battle against Goliath was a stroke of luck, as David initially seemed motivated by the reward offered by King Saul. They also question why David collected 5 stones instead of relying on God's power alone, suggesting a shred of doubt in his belief. However, the predominant understanding of the story is that David's unwavering faith in God led to his victory over Goliath. He serves as an example to people of faith that by placing trust in God, anything is possible. The phrase, David and Goliath, has come to symbolize an underdog situation where a smaller, weaker contender faces a larger, stronger adversary. Thank you for watching. We hope you have gained insights into the Bible through this discussion. Please consider subscribing and clicking on the notification icon for future updates. Stay tuned for more episodes where we delve into critical issues found in the Bible.